The darkness continues.
Open your mind.
Dark exodus. Dark exodus. The protest. Dark exodus. Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X.
You know.
Dark exodus. You understand? Yeah, X. You understand? Open your mind. Dark X. Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus.
And we are back. Peace, folk. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why y'all black asses are here. As you can see, sliding down the banner here, tonight is a dark Exodus night. Black Greenbacks matter. And y'all know who we talking about. Y'all seen the people on the thumbnail. You'll see the people on the screen here to my right, but to your left, you got T.P.O.T, Gaza, and of course, Colors. Good old Black Lives Matter. Yeah, we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about how the greenbacks matter when it comes to this. And we're joined tonight by the one and only brother that I really like, Brother Free Zone Lou. Brother A Truism, he's not, I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming because I think he's out celebrating. He did write me earlier and he was like, my bad, X, I'm out celebrating. So Brother A Truism, aka the Incredible Hulk, will not be here tonight. But anybody who wants to fill in for Brother A Truism, you know what to do. Just hit me with an email. It's properthought@yahoo.com. That's properthought, one word, no caps, at yahoo.com. But y'all know before we get the show started, I'll always start the show off thanking you good folks, man, for your likes, your shares, your views, your subs, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because I realize, brothers, you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to watch these damn videos. You don't have to show up to these streams. You don't have to like them, share them, or sub to this channel. And you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folks choose to do so, man. Night after night, week after week, you are here when you can be anywhere. And I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. All you good folks, man. And like I always say, man, I don't say this to kiss your butts, because by now you know X does not kiss your black butts. I say it because I mean it. And I thank you. All right? All right. Let's get at it. But before I bring up Brother Free Zone, we're going to do a little something that I've started. And it's a little something that I'm going to be doing every night before we start the show. And it is called the Old Mama of the Day. Yeah, it's called Old Mama of the Day. Every time I stream, I will be bringing you one of these old mamas and their story of how they treat their children. Today's old mama, in front of you here, let's listen.
Looking for a free project management solution?
God damn commercials.
That's actually free. With ClickUp, here's just...
They tell us a little girl is clinging to life and not expected to survive. Right now, her
Fair
mom
use.
is facing attempted murder and child abuse charges. Prosecutors say if the worst happens, they may consider the ultimate punishment.
There's a special place in hell for somebody like that.
Pearl Police Chief Dean Scott says Michaela Jolly has shown no remorse since officers arrested the 20-year-old mom and charged her with attempted murder and felony child abuse. Witnesses dialed 911 Thursday afternoon after they spotted Jolly allegedly repeatedly throwing her 2-month-old baby girl, Khaleesi Jolly, onto Biederman Road.
I have no sympathy for the suspect in this case. The act was very deliberate and intentional.
The chief says little Khaleesi was not expected to survive the severe injuries she suffered. Friday, the infant was on a ventilator at Children's Hospital and her organs were failing.
I think the good Lord figures this baby was too good for this evil world.
Jolly's next-door neighbor, who didn't want to be identified, said she was shocked to hear about the serious charges against her.
I don't understand. Something had to go wrong, something postpartum or something, because she really is a very good mother. I don't understand what happened.
I will admit, no parent wakes up in the morning with intent to do what she did. Doesn't make it right.
Now, Jolly is no stranger to Pearl police. The chief says narcotics officers have arrested her before on drug charges. The Rankin County DA says that they will consider the death penalty against Jolly if it comes to that. Live in Pearl, Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
And just for everyone's info, I have discovered that
Looking for a free project management solution that's actually free? With ClickUp, here's...
Stop these damn commercials, God damn it, before I get a copyright. I have discovered that the charges have been upgraded, folk, because the baby died. Yes, the baby died. And it says here, a mother in Pearl, Mississippi has been charged with capital murder for allegedly throwing her 9-week-old baby into a road, police say. Michaela Shaylin Jolly, 20, repeatedly and forcibly struck her daughter, Khaleesi LaShoy Jolly, on the roadside Thursday, investigators say, before fleeing into the woods. A neighbor ran to the child and called 911. The infant was rushed to a hospital but ultimately died of her wounds Saturday, police say. Jolly was later arrested and if found guilty, faces life in prison or even the death penalty. Something had to have gone wrong. Postpartum or something. Isn't it always something? Postpartum, I'm crazy, the devil made me do it. Postpartum or something, a neighbor told WAPT, because she is really a good mother. Now, see, that's where I have the problem. Because they say these women, oh, she was a good mother. So she just woke up one day and start slamming the baby on the pavement out of nowhere. This baby probably has been beat and everything else over the course of time. Come on, man. Something had to go wrong, postpartum or something. A neighbor told WAPT, because she is really a very good mother. I don't understand what happened. Jolie also has a son who is probably get the shit whooped out of him too, who is now under the care of his grandmother. The good Lord figures this baby is too good for this world, Police Chief Dean Scott said. The act was very deliberate and intentional. She showed no remorse throughout the day. Of course, do you really expect some remorse from these old mamas? But that's our mother of the day, folks. So let's get to it, man. First and foremost, let me bring up, he's gone. Come back, Brother Free Zone. Let's get to it, because we have quite a few articles on the old BLM brigade. We're going to start here. Says here, BLM paid co-founder's baby daddy nearly 5 times more than the Trayvon Martin Foundation. Now, those of you who remember the inception of Black Lives Matter, at the inception, I think that's when it really started to gain traction during the Trayvon Martin incident. When Trayvon Martin was killed out there, that's when they really start to gain traction. So you would think, being that basically Trayvon Martin's death was what caused them to gain the footing and pull the wool over the eyes of everybody, that they would at least, broke them off something. But somehow she ends up giving the baby daddy more money than they end up giving his foundation. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? But are we surprised? I mean, are we surprised at all at this point? Are we surprised at all at this point? Brother Free Zone Lou, what's good with it, man?
Man, what's popping? What's popping? Am I in clear?
Yeah, man.
All right,
Now,
bet.
I want to read this here to you, good folk, because it says here, Black Lives Matter paid its co-founder's baby daddy almost 5 times the amount the group doled out to the Trayvon Martin Foundation, a charity honoring the Black youth whose 2012 death spearheaded the movement. Like I said, I mean, that's when they really began to gain some traction during the Trayvon Martin killing. So you would think, just out of that alone, that they would have, broke them off something. Broke them off. So, y'all see the people up there getting chased by the bear? That's crazy.
Goddamn.
Distracting me. But yeah, it says here, Patrice Cullors, the former executive director and co-founder of Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, paid a company owned by Damon Turner $969,459 for live production, design, and media, according to the group's latest filings with the IRS. Turner's for-profit company, which sells $145 sweatshirts on its websites and solicits donation for the movement, received the second highest payout the group made in the fiscal year of 2020, which covers July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. A rapper and artist, yeah, right, Turner is the father of Cullors' young son and runs a Los Angeles-based entertainment and clothing company called Trap Heels LLC. Turner has been on the receiving end of Cullors' largesse in the past. In 2019, his company took in $63,500. There's a fucking pop-up. Jesus Christ, man. $63,500 from Reform LA Jails, a state political action committee controlled by Cullors, to work for the criminal justice reform. So let me ask you, Brother Lou, are you surprised about any of this stuff you hear when it comes to these people?
No, I'm not. Not at all. Oh, and shout out to True, man. It's his birthday today, so he's out there doing the
Yeah,
time.
man.
So
Yeah,
happy
man.
birthday
Shout
to
out to
him.
Brother A. Truism.
But as far as this goes, and I'm gonna say this, man. Shout out to Al Sharpton, who at least he hustled he hustled the race, but he washed the money right. He
Yeah.
cared. He cared enough to
Yeah.
he cared enough to
Clean the
do right
money.
with the money. To do the wrong. He did the right wrongness with the money. But
Yeah,
this
his
shit
money
here,
laundering skills is up to snuff.
yeah, man, this shit here, man, I can't believe that they really let three ugly women get hit a lick on all this money. This is
Yeah.
it's that's the part that gets me. But they you can hate the player, man, but you can't hate the. It's all finna come crashing down. She thought Candace showing up to her house pregnant with a white film crew is bad.
Yeah,
Wait
yeah.
till them 3 letters. Wait till the FBI come knocking on the door.
Oh yeah, because see, they have a lot of explaining to do. Now I'm not going to accuse them of any tax violations or anything like that, but over the course of say the last 9 to 10 years, man, these people have taken in about $90 million, man. They've taken in about
Yeah,
$90
man.
million
If
dollars.
and if I can, brother, real quick, if I could throw something on the screen real quick because it's gonna break
Absolutely,
numbers,
absolutely,
percentages, all of that down.
absolutely.
So because this is insane.
Let me get this banner
So
on.
check this
There
out.
you go. You got it.
Yeah, so check this out. They put money into stock. Apparently 32. Apparently they put 32.
Yeah,
They put 32 mil into stocks, right? And then giving bread to the brother, the baby daddy, the best friend, trying to wash it through the family. You know, she barely paid tithe. Trayvon Martin Foundation. She ain't give the 10%. And then we got 37 million in grants, real estate, consultants, and other undisclosed expenses. Okay, so that's 80. So we got damn near $17 million unaccounted for,
unaccounted for.
based based on her tax filings. So that's the $1 million question is, where's the money?
Yeah,
Where is the dough? Where is the $17 million?
yeah. And see, this is the thing, right? And this next little piece of article that I talk about is going to talk about this. They didn't do it all alone. They had a lot of help, right? They had a lot of backing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because this article here says corporations don't care if BLM is wasting their money. They were just buying the PR, right? Because it looked
Mm-hmm.
good. It looked good for a company to be backing these people, right? It looked good. Oh, we support
Right.
Black Lives Matter. It was a like they said, a PR thing, a PR stunt, right? So they could funnel money into these people and say, "Hey, look, we support Black Lives Matter, so you should support us. You should buy our products. You should do this. You should do that." Now, it says, never let a good tragedy go to waste because there's too much money to be made. After the tragic death of George Floyd, the organization of Black Lives Matter took the forefront of supposed racial advocacy and reckoning. To believe that Black Lives mattered, we were supposed to blindly support any organization that feigned supporting these efforts. Now, 2 years after Floyd's death, we are finally asking questions about an organization that had the name recognition in 1 year than had more name recognition than any other marketing firm could have ever dreamed of. On Tuesday, Black Lives Matter Global Foundation 900 tax forms was made public, and we were able to get a glimpse into their finances as a 501c3 nonprofit. From purchasing homes for millions of dollars to paying family members exorbitant amounts of money for arbitrary services, we are left wondering if this organization did the same thing they claim to want to stop, which is exploitation.
Mm.
Because see, that's what it came down to. It came down to exploiting the
Mm-hmm.
deaths of Black men. That's what it came down to. Because see, if you look at this organization over the course of the years, Your black life did not matter until it was over. Let me repeat that. Your life did not matter to these people until your life had been snuffed out. They would never let a killing go unmanipulated, unused. They never met a camera that they didn't like. All right. Now, mind you, let's do this. We're gonna take a little segue, right? Because just a few days ago, and I'm pretty sure all of you are aware of this, right? All of you are aware of what happened in Buffalo. All of you are aware, I'm sure. If you don't know about it, I don't know where the hell you've been. You must not got a phone, computer, TV, friends, nothing. All right. So we're all aware of what happened in Buffalo. If you look at the screen behind me, these are the people who were killed in Buffalo, right? 10 black people mowed down by some crazy ass white dude, right? I haven't heard anything from Black Lives Matter at all. And if they have made a peep about it, will someone please let me know? Where are they? Why aren't they out there marching in Buffalo? Why are they not rallying the troops and, doing their usual thing, jumping up and down at City Hall and at, the mayor's mansion and all this kind of stuff? Where are they? Why are they not marching? Why are they not on television? Why have you not seen any of them interviewed? Why? I know where they are. They are in the same place they were when these people were killed. I always show y'all these 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds that were murdered on a 4th of July weekend. No march, no protest, no burning of buildings, no flipping over of cars, no streets named after them. And you guess what else there was no? There was no Black Lives Matter. Nowhere to be found. They didn't get in contact with these children. Parents, I know, because Natalie Wallace here, I had her father on my show about 3 months after it happened. He said he didn't hear jack from Black Lives Matter. So why doesn't the lives of these little people matter? I thought Black Lives Matter loved going where people have been killed. Why didn't their lives matter? And likewise, these folks who were gunned down in Buffalo, did their lives not matter? BLM? Can somebody get on the phone right now and call Colors or T.P.O.T or Garza? Or does anybody have their number? If you have it, please give it to me so I can call them right quick and ask them when they're going to Buffalo. Please put their number in the chat if you have it. Either one of them. I don't care. Garza, T.P.O.T or Colors, either one. Please put their number in the chat so I can call them and ask them when are they going to Buffalo. But let's get back to it.
Well, let me say this real quick, Brother X.
Go ahead.
You got to understand that this whole thing with BLM, Patrice Cullors already defined what the end goal was for this organization, and it was abolishing prisons, abolishing jails, abolishing cops, courts, and I want to say surveillance. So those people whose faces that you put up, rest in peace to them, R.I.P. But they do nothing to push that goal forward.
Absolutely not.
So they're not going to get the attention. You know what I'm saying? Like black people dying, black people killing black people doesn't get the attention that everybody wants. But what does get attention is a white person doing something. The Buffalo shooter, let's say. That one situation is it it gets everybody in. Black, white, Hispanic, all of them. It gets them all in.
Yeah.
But blacks killing blacks just doesn't do it. And it's sad that that's the case. But what she originally, her original goal, like, this was doomed from the start. This
Yes.
how you could tell it was a money move, because if your goal is to abolish prisons, jails, police, courts, and surveillance, how the fuck does that help black people at all?
At all. At all. But see, this is the thing. And I was talking to my wife about this earlier. See, when you say Black Lives Matter, right? Of course, black folks' lives matter. Of course they matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, when they were saying Black Lives Matter, they weren't talking about black people really mattering, man. What they were talking, they turned it into a hashtag, and it was brilliant, because who would go against the narrative of Black Lives Mattering? Not even white people would go against that narrative, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
was a brilliant strategy. A brilliant
Mm-hmm.
strategy. They knew exactly what they were doing. And they knew that these corporations who I spoke of a few minutes ago would be all in. Who wouldn't want to support Black Lives Mattering? But see, that's just
Right.
it. Black Lives Matter was never about black lives. It was about black greenbacks. It was about money. It was about
Mm-hmm.
an agenda that they were pushing. Because I remember going to their site. I mean, back when I was in radio, back in what was that, 2014. I remember going to their site, and let me tell you something. All of those black men that had been killed and all the marches they had did for said dead black men, they never had anything on there about black men at all. Now, this is an
Mm-hmm.
organization who are using black men to perpetuate an agenda, but nothing about black men was on the website.
Yep.
Nothing.
Well, you remember what it used to say? It used to say, let me pull it up real quick, because I had some docs for this particular night. All right, here we go. It used to say on the website, "We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially to our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable." Mothers, parents, and children. Mothers, parents, and children.
Yep.
No fathers whatsoever. I don't. That's a kind of mothers, parents, and children.
Yep.
That bugs me. But yeah, that was their original. They had to take it off of their website because it was too controversial. But
Absolutely.
they're Marxists, so we pretty much already know what the goal, what the background, what we know this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. Like I said, Al Sharpton just washed the money better. These girls they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They didn't give a
Yeah.
damn.
And this little tagline here underneath the Black Lives Matter banner here, it says the Black Lives Matter organization raised over $90 million since 2020, with many donations coming from large corporations. Like I said, these people were on board, and they didn't care if Black Lives Matter squandered the money or not. They didn't care, because guess what? They were able to say that they supported Black Lives Matter. So guess what? That made them look good in the eyes of other companies and in the eyes of other corporations, and also in the eyes of the public and the government, because they were writing a lot of that money off. They were doing a lot of strategic write-offs with that money. So of course they were pouring money into these people. And it says here, we're looking at Patrice Cullors here. BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors and other leaders wasted money on luxury homes and relatives of the founders, according to their tax documents. So it's not like we're making this up, just to denigrate these people. This stuff is on their tax documents that have been made public. All right. Now it says here, in the midst of the pandemic, state governments shut down small businesses and forced unemployment on some of the working class, while massive corporations like Amazon were able to not only remain open, but also earn record profits, of course, because everybody was ordering during the whole COVID crisis. As Americans, we're asking questions about why the government was favoring corporate conglomerates over Main Street. Money from corporate philanthropy started pouring into Black Lives Matter to help improve their image. Again, these big companies, they were pouring money into these people to improve their image. They didn't care what they were doing with the money. Black Lives Matter brought in about $90 million in donations. And I assure you that $90 million wasn't majority $20 donations from people like your empathetic neighbor or guilt-riddled co-worker. Corporations worldwide looked at Black Lives Matter as a place to provide their racial peace offering to improve their public relations, whether it be Amazon, Microsoft, Dropbox, and a myriad of other corporations who donated. They all had press releases prepared to let the public know about how they are doing their part in a time of heightened racial tensions. So there you have it, folks. Like I said, they didn't give a shit. And I remember this. I remember ordering stuff off of Amazon, and the Black Lives Matter used to pop up. Oh, we support Black Lives Matter. I remember it coming like up on my Fire Stick. When you go to your Fire Stick, you want to watch something on your Fire Stick, you would see Black Lives Matter come up. I'm like, what the hell is this, up on my damn Fire Stick? Why is this up here? But we're going to move on because we have quite a few articles that I think you good folk will be interested in.
Yeah, they had a lot of companies: Target, Walmart, Levi,
Home
Depot, EA Games,
Yes.
Ubisoft,
Yes.
Etsy. Good God,
Yes.
H&M.
Because these companies wanted to be able to say that they supported Black Lives Matter, and not only that, these companies could write those millions of dollars off as well.
Yeah.
It was a win-win for the corporations. They can get on TV and say, oh, we're donating X amount of money to Black Lives Matter. We love Black people. See this big see this big check we're giving to Black Lives Matter? We love Black folk. But they say Black Lives Matter also used donations to lobby Congress to impeach Trump. And I think people are pretty much aware of that. It says Black Lives Matter spent more than $1.2 million on lobbying members of Congress, with part of the cash going to efforts to impeach the former President Donald Trump. Public filing show. In its first disclosures to the IRS Monday, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation spent $1,261,901 in the fiscal 2020 to advance racial justice policies and to lobby members of Congress to vote in favor of impeachment. So Black Lives Matter had their lobbyists actually lobbying for the impeachment of the president. Now, I want to know what that has to do with Black people and their lives. What Couldn't that 1.2 million be spent a lot better? Wasn't there a better use for that 1.2 million than trying to get Congress to impeach Trump? Something they probably were going to do anyway. Am
Well,
I
I
missing
think that
something?
I think that that was, um, I don't think that that was more of a as much of a money run as it was a clout run.
Mm,
It gave them more clout and social points in the marketplace of opinions. Let's say
mm-hmm.
so.
Okay.
Once all Trump had to do was breathe, sneeze, BLM was on it,
Mm-hmm.
and once Trump left, because if you notice, once Trump left for a long time, things got very very quiet. It was like BML. It was like BLM just disappeared off the face of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and it was only a matter of time. Here they come again.
Absolutely. Now, they say that Trump was impeached for a second time in January 2021 in largely party line vote that saw a handful of Republicans join Democrats to blame the outgoing commander in chief for sparking the siege on the U.S. Capitol. Charities are allowed to lobby provided they do not spend an excessive amount of their donations on their efforts. The charities' lobbying expenses represent less than 4% of their expenses of more than $37 million, according to their tax filings. But let's jump here. We are BLM leader used $73,000 of charity funds for private jet service due to security threats. Because she's under so many threats. I guess she thought Candace Owen was going to try to jump her or something at the airport, so she had to get a private
Yeah.
jet to protect her from Candace Owen. Now it says here,
Hmm.
Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation provided co-founder Patrice Cullors with flights on private jets, according to tax documents. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation provided jet service to its executive director. Its latest tax filings show, in addition to luxury real estate purchases in U.S. and in Canada, filings show that Patrice Cullors, a co-founder of the group and its only board member for fiscal year 2020, enjoyed charter jet travel due to security threats during the COVID pandemic because she thought Candace Owens would be at the airport, according to tax filings, which provide few other details. This travel was for organizational purposes, the filing said. The expenditure was voluntarily reimbursed subsequent to the year's end. Filings show that Cullors, who resigned from the group in May of 2021, took out a loan of $73,523 without board approval and without a written agreement, according to filings. That amount was used to pay back Cullors' private jet travel, according to the Associated Press. Filings also show that the group paid nearly $6 million for a luxury compound in Studio City and paid the equivalent of $6.3 million for a sprawling mansion in Toronto. Both properties are to be used as offices. Now, if you need an office, you have to buy a $6 million luxury compound in America and another 6 million sprawling mansion in Toronto for an office. What am I missing here? What am I missing?
Well, when you have these Zoom meetings, man, you can't be a reputable nonprofit organization with poverty in the background. You gotta make it look good. You gotta look like you're doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look
Oh
like
yeah, you
you're
gotta have the mansion
accomplished.
in the Rolls Royce back there. Gotta have the mansion in the Rolls Royce back here. Okay, I get it.
Exactly.
But we move on. It says BLM spent at least 12 million on luxury properties in LA and Toronto, which we just spoke of. It says Black Lives Matter spent millions on luxury properties in Los Angeles and Toronto, according to the first public accounting of its finances. In Canada, Toronto-based nonprofit M4BJ purchased a 10,000 square foot downtown property for the equivalent of $6.3 million. The former headquarters of the Canadian Communist Party was named the Wild Seed Center for Art and Activism by Canadian BLM members who said it was purchased using cash from BLMGNF. The purchase of the Toronto home was part of an $8 million out-of-country grant in North America to conduct activities to educate and support Black communities and to purchase and renovate property for charitable use. According to BLMGNF's latest federal tax filing for fiscal year 2020, the group said it planned to use the space as its main office in Canada. It is unclear where the remaining $1.7 million of out-of-country grant went in 2021. Sources told the Post that BLM had purchased a luxury condo in the Bahamas in the same beachfront resort where Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake have homes. Color vigorously denied that the group had purchased the property in the islands. Not only are they, they got to move next to Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake, the bitch lied and said they didn't have it. Lied. We don't have a house in the Bahamas. But guess what? They got to put that shit on the taxes, because when you got millions of dollars floating around, the government's going to come knocking if you don't fill out some paperwork. So she lied about the property in Bahamas, and then they turn around and they put it on a tax filing. And what I'm looking at here, right? Okay. They're filing taxes back from 2020, right? Which means that they probably didn't do their taxes in 2021. They did their taxes this year. So they doubled up, right? Which a lot of people do. That's not odd, right? But I think they had to start to come clean because what was going on, all right? They might have got advised and said, look, y'all got all this money floating around. God damn it. We got to do something. We got to go ahead. We got to be accountable for this money. We got to pay our taxes on it. We got to do all this shit because the government come and knock, and especially when we done took in 90 million. All right. 90 million. 90. That's what I think happened. They had to go ahead, and they couldn't wait any longer. They had to make all this shit public, even the shit they had lied about. They had to make it public to keep from getting fucked up in the game. All right. Now, now it says here the IRS filing also lists the group's Los Angeles compound as an asset. In October 2020, BLMGNF secretly bought a sprawling mansion in Los Angeles, spending nearly $6 million on the purchase of the Studio City compound, which includes a soundstage, 6 bedrooms, and a swimming pool. You got to have a pool for your studio, right? What good is having a studio if it doesn't have a pool? And
For
these
the
are the
love
properties.
of money. Gotta make
These
that money, man.
Yeah, these are the properties, y'all, that she is buying with not just those corporations' money, but the money you people were donating. This
Hold
is
on,
where y'all money went, y'all.
slide down. That shit says they threw 2 parties in the mansion.
Oh
They were having
yeah.
mansion parties.
Oh yeah. Colors
Walk out to get
recently
the mail. Hey, this is your house?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Oh no, this is just a compound where we do work while they got on their flip flops and pajama pants and shit. I'm not. This is strictly for work. I work in my pajamas, pants, and my goddamn bonnet and shit. Yeah. It says here that Colors recently admitted that she threw parties in the swanky compound, a birthday bash for her son, and a soiree to celebrate President Joe Biden's presidential win in 2020. Tax filings show that she paid back BLM $390 for the use of the real estate. $390? You're trying to tell me that they charged you $390 for this fucking mansion, and you get the fuck out of here. That wouldn't even cover the cost of a 6-bedroom fucking Airbnb.
Shit ain't right,
So
man.
basically, she's saying that she rented it for $390. This fucking goddamn mansion that's worth $6 million and shit. They only charged her $390 to use it to throw a party for Joe Biden when he won, and I bet it was a hell of a party in there too. I bet you it was a hell of a party. But I want to go here now. If it'll jump. It says, BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors says her mistakes with white guilt money were weaponized against her. Y'all are aware of what white guilt is, right? Are y'all aware of what white guilt is? White guilt is when white people feel guilty for Negroes being in slavery and Jim Crow and all that kind of stuff. They white folks and they feel bad about it, y'all. Yeah, they feel bad about it. But it says here, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors said that when $90 million in white guilt money came pouring into the organization's coffers after the murder of George Floyd, the group had no infrastructure in place to handle the flood of cash. And now the mistakes made are being weaponized against her. Boo fucking who? Boo hoo that you had mistakes with your almost $100 million fucking dollars that y'all raised. Boo fucking who, lady. She says, I'm a human being that has made mistakes, that want to change, want to challenge those mistakes, and want to learn from those mistakes, Cullors told the host of MSNBC's Into America's podcast Monday. And I think what's been hard is feeling like there isn't room and space for that. The beleaguered former executive director of Black Lives Matter's Global Network Foundation also addressed the allegation that she had personally benefited from the donations by purchasing homes for herself, including a $6 million property in Los Angeles, which included a 7-bedroom mansion, a pool, and a soundstage and a garden. This was an investment, Cullors said. It's not my personal real estate.
The companies, it's the organization's real estate. Good God.
It's not Patrisse Cullors' real estate. It's the organization's real estate. Cullors said the house was to be used as a media creation space for BLM and also as a safe house for activists. But she said the organization decided to stay mum about the true purpose of the mansion out of the fear that right-wing media would jeopardize the safety of those associated with the movement, aka Candace Owens.
Right. That's why. Yeah. How noble of her.
Yeah, she had to keep it secret because she knew one day Candace Owens would pull up with a news crew. She knew it was coming, so she couldn't tell y'all nothing. She had to wait till she put that shit on her taxes, y'all. I hope y'all seeing where the corporations and y'all money went now. Y'all seeing where it went, right? If you gave her $1, you helped her buy these mansions. I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to know that. She says, the minute we shared the information with the public, the right-wing media would do what they always do. And they always did, she said, because the right-wing media doesn't have any sense or care for people's security or safety.
Good old victim shit.
This is the thing, right? Now, I said earlier that Black Lives Matter gained traction with the Trayvon Martin killing. Now, I know that they gave $200,000 to the Trayvon Martin Foundation, right? But they gave the baby daddy $840,000 to a security. They gave $840,000 to a security company that her brother owns. They gave the baby daddy almost $1 million for production, design, and media services, allegedly. All right. Now, like I said before, it says Colors resigned from the organization a month after the Post revealed that she went on a $3.2 million real estate buying spree. Colors denied that the money used to buy residential properties in Georgia and California came from the charity, and those properties do not show up in the filing. Where the fuck else did they come from? Where else did the money come from? What, she had a job? She had a job while she was raking in like $90 million. She worked somewhere else. You got $90 million worth of donations coming in, but you got a fucking job, what, as a secretary in some office some fucking way? Come on, man. I mean, come on. These people are just full of crap, man. Now, Black Lives Matter was founded by Colors, Alicia Garza, and T.P.O.T in 2013 as a charity honoring the memory of Martin, the unarmed black teen who was killed by George Zimmerman in 2012. By 2020, Colors was the only remaining co-founder still attached to the organization. After Floyd was murdered by Minneapolis, goddamn these fucking pop-ups, man. Jesus Christ. After Floyd was murdered by Minneapolis cop Derek Chauvin, BLM found itself on the receiving end of millions of dollars in donations from individuals and companies eager to support the movement aimed at combating police brutality and racial discrimination. It was a major shock, Colors said, of the sudden influx of cash. That was a lot of white guilt money. There's a lot of white folks being like, we just got to put the money. Colors argued that BLM had no framework in place to deal with the $90 million in donations and complained that the Black-led organization was held to a different set of standards than nonprofits led by white activists. Now, I don't buy that shit because I doubt if many so-called quote-unquote grassroots white charities rake in $90 million just like that. All right, I seriously doubt it. Miss Colors. I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Amazing. It says Colors admitted that she made mistakes by not drawing a salary from BLM, which blurred the lines in the eyes of the public between the charity's funds and her own. But wait a minute. You said she says she did not draw a salary. So if she wasn't drawing a salary, how the fuck was she able to buy all of these fucking properties if she wasn't drawing a salary? I guess she did that with the money she was making as she worked as a secretary somewhere else.
She must have. But then again, it was an investment.
Yes.
It was an investment, yes. Brother X. She didn't buy it for her.
She's never lived in any of these properties.
Right.
Now, this is what she says. This is what she says. She says, I should have taken a salary from Black Lives Matter because it would be less confusing for people, Colors said, explaining that she opted against it because she did not plan to stay in the executive director's post for more than 2 years. And she viewed it as her volunteer work. Her volunteer work. But as she's volunteering, she's buying a house in Georgia, a house in California, a house in Canada, got a crib in the Bahamas. All of this shit with volunteer work, you're able to purchase. What were you buying it with? Monopoly money? Were you buying this shit with Monopoly money, woman? Just tell us, was it Monopoly money that you were using? I need to know, Miss Colors, please. Has anybody found Mrs. Colors a phone number yet? Has anybody located a phone number? Because we need to call her black ass tonight. Yeah, we need to call her tonight. Please. Anybody that has her number, please put it in the chat. She says, as the news of the properties being bought by BLM began circulating, the charity's detractors on the right accused Colors of mishandling the money and using it for her own personal gain. No shit, she's buying properties all over the place. I would consider that personal gain too. Colors fired back at her critics, led by conservative talk show host Candace Owens, for attacking her and the organization. Some of my mistakes are being weaponized against me. Also, the entire movement, she lamented. And that's truly disappointing to see us fall into that as well. See, this is my problem. All right. Well, I have multiple problems with this shit, but this is one of them, right? They claimed that this was about black folks. What's good with it, brother KIT? Brother KIT said she was stripping that night. Yeah, that's how she. Yeah, that's how she bought all those properties, brother KIT. Yeah, that's how she did it, man. She bought it with her stripper money. You know, she come home at the end of the night, you know, count all those ones and fives and shit. And the next thing you know, she got like $30 million after a while. I could see that. That's feasible. That's feasible. But here, but
What
here's
I'ma
the
do
thing.
with all this money?
All this money.
All this money.
But
What I'm gonna do? Go ahead.
here's the thing, man. You would think, right, that being that they build this as, you know, because the hashtag Black Lives Matter caught everybody's ear, caught white folks' ear, caught corporations' ear. So I say again, it was a genius pitch, but you would think they would at least have been smart enough to take some of this money and actually distribute it to things to help black folks. Even if they were doing it for a front, the last thing you would think is they would be buying multiple properties here, there, and everywhere and keeping the shit a secret. Why the secrecy? Why did people have to discover it? Why were you hiding it? Why did you lie? I mean, what was all of that for? If you didn't think you were doing bullshit, why? That's what I want to know. Why the secrecy? Why the hiding? And the only reason why they have come clean now, like I said, is because they had to show this shit on their taxes. There's no way you can rake in $90 million and not fill out some goddamn tax papers. You got to do it.
Right.
So now they're in damage control mode because people want to know, where's all the money? Why do you have 6 properties? Why? Why do you own 6 properties? Why do you have a fucking mansion here, mansion there, mansion here, mansion there? And you study talking about these are your offices, these are your safe houses for fucking activists, and these are your studio, and we don't live in them. So where you living at then? If you're not living in none of these properties that you claim, where the fuck are you living at? Where you living? What, you got some little 500 square foot fucking apartment in New York City, some fucking where?
I don't know about you, bro, but if I got a mansion somewhere, how am I gonna have a mansion somewhere and not stay in that motherfucker?
Yeah, I don't live in it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is for work.
it's asinine.
This is for work. And here's the real kicker when it comes to these chicks, right? These chicks have convinced you black folks that white people are the devil. They out to kill you. They hunting you. They doing all this shit to you. And what do? Some of them done went and shacked up with white folk. Do y'all understand that? They have spent a decade convincing y'all of how y'all should fear white people. Stay away from white folk. White folk are bad. And what do? Because, you know, they all are homosexuals, right? They pushed the homosexual agenda from the very beginning, if you saw their site when they first started it. But that's not even the thing. Them being homosexuals is irrelevant. Take a look at who they get with. Take a look at who they shack up with. Take a look of who they spend their lives with. Take a look. Look it up. Look it up and ask yourself, they really want black people to stay away from white folks? Why would they? Why would they? They're not. They're not staying away from white folk, right? They're not staying away from white folk. In fact, let me see if I can find a picture of, probably should have looked this up earlier, y'all. Let me see if I can find a picture of their mates. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Because I find it quite amazing that they want y'all to stay away from white folk, but they can't stay away from white folk. But isn't that always the case? The main people who are telling you stay away from white folk, they love white folks. They love them. Damn it, I can't find a picture of it. God damn it. If anybody got a picture of one of these, because I can't even remember which one of them. I can't remember which one of them is shacking up with a white woman. If anyone knows, please put their name in the chat, please. Please put their name in the chat. Let me see. Please put their name in the chat if you can remember which one is with the white hoes. If you can do me that favor. If you can do me that favor. Because what y'all got to understand is this, man. For people to dupe black folks, Joe John said Don Lemon. For people to dupe so many people and used the death of black people to do it as if black people getting killed was a priority. It was never a priority, y'all. That's what y'all got to understand. The deaths of these black people were never a priority for this organization, man. It wasn't. Because I remember going on their site a while back when someone, a brother had got killed, and he had got killed in Queens by the police. And they had a picture of him up there, and one little sentence underneath it. It said, his life mattered. That's all it said. That's all it said. They didn't go into detail about it. Nothing. Yeah. Garza. That's the one. Knew it was one of them. I 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 knew it was one of them. All right, let's see. Let's have a look. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And boy, they will tell y'all how to stay away from white folk. Don't be around white folk. Don't be around white people. Stay away from white folk, y'all. Stay away from white folk, y'all. But while she's telling y'all that, this is what she's doing. Let me show you, thanks to brother Pre-Zone Lou, because my ass is old and I ain't even know which one. God damn it.
I gotcha. Yeah,
Let,
Patrice Colors is
let
actually with a black woman. So, but yeah, she got a whole white man.
This is who she is with, y'all. While she tells you to stay away from white folk and white folk are trying to kill you and all this kind of shit. This is who she is with. See her sitting there with her white husband. See? In love with her white husband. See her there, y'all? Just in love with her white husband while she got y'all singing Black Lives Matter.
Mm.
And the only time they matter is when they're killed by a white police officer. And you look at her husband, he kind of looks like a police officer, doesn't he? He kind of looks like a police officer, doesn't he?
Hmm.
Now I'll
I'm
say
willing to
again,
bet that's why I'm willing to bet that's why she's down. It's just Patrice because I put money on that shit. Her white husband say, "Yo, it's looking a little crazy. Pull back."
yeah, yeah. Because see, Garza and T.P.O.T, they eventually separated themselves from the organization. Colors did not.
Hmm.
Colors stayed on and could continue to collect millions of dollars. All right. She continued to collect millions of dollars. So she's
Right.
kind of on the hot seat because she's the one who collected, I believe, the bulk of the money. Right. Now,
Hmm.
she was a so-called board member of Black Lives Matter, but she was the only board member. I don't know how it's a board when it's only one person. I don't understand how that is a board. Um, she also claims she never drew a salary. But I say again, as she buys 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 properties all over the fucking world. So if you weren't claiming a salary, I mean, where was this money coming from? She even said herself, oh, it was volunteer work. Well, shit. If volunteer work will bring you the millions of dollars, I need to stop doing what I'm doing today and start volunteering some shit. All right. So I can get me a fucking
Right.
mansion in Bahamas and in Canada and all this kind of bullshit. And she did it at the expense of all the people who thought this movement was really going to do something. And
Yeah. I
and,
mean,
and
my thing
go ahead.
is if you're gonna do that shit, like why not run away to one of those places where you can't be what's the word I'm missing the word. You know when criminals run off the places and cops can't get them because they're in a specific country.
Oh, you want to
Um,
go somewhere where they don't have an extradition treaty? Go somewhere
there
where
we
they can't
go.
be extradited?
Where you can't be
Yeah.
extradited. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Disappear with your
Yeah.
90 mil. Go to a place you can't be touched and just wait.
Switzerland. Switzerland.
Just wait. Yeah, man.
Yeah, they could have went to Switzerland with that 90 million, but they didn't want to do that. They want to stay right here and rub it in all y'all faces. Because they didn't even try to keep it from the public. They're rubbing it in y'all faces. All right. As they fly around in a private jet, you know, from mansion to mansion, they're rubbing it in y'all goddamn faces. And those of you who these people exploited the death of your, whether it be your husband, your brother, your uncle, your son, they used you. They used that person's death for personal gain. And y'all should be pissed. Because I know I would. I would be
But
pissed.
that's what's crazy, bro. Like, they still got hella supporters.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I sent you some videos earlier of this guy just
Yes, I saw
interviewing
them.
people about BLM. And
Yeah.
people are like, people still believe in these motherfuckers.
Yes. As a matter of fact, let's have a look at a
Unbelievable.
couple of them. Let's have a look. Let's
And
have
it's
a
like, man, at that
motherfucking
point,
look.
you deserve to get ganked.
Yeah.
If somebody could take money from you, do nothing with it, and you still believe in them, it's on you
Yes.
at that point.
Yeah, you're just stupid. You're just stupid at this point. You are just stupid. But we're going to have a look at one of these videos. We're going to have a look because I don't think y'all good folks believe what me and Brother Free Zone are saying. Y'all just think we're throwing stones at BLM. Y'all probably got a couple BLM shirts in your closet. So, you know, y'all are like, oh man, they just talking shit about them. You know, y'all probably sitting there watching with a BLM shirt on right now. And y'all like, man, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for saying that. Black lives do matter. Because, see, that's the hang up, right? You can't really say screw Black Lives Matter without making people mad, because now people think you're saying that Black lives don't matter. You're not talking about the organization. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was genius. It was genius because people did not want to go against these people, man, simply because of what the organization was named. So it was a genius. It
Right.
was a genius tactic that they used, man. I got to give it to them. It was pure fucking genius. But fair use, Negroes, fair use. Let's check this out here.
Hell yeah, because they was giving me shit when that first popped off. What, you don't believe Black Lives Matter? Like,
donation records.
Wow.
They found a way to profit off of that social issue, and they don't know where the money is going at all.
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. The Black Lives Matter organization brought in $90 million of donations in 2020 alone. But since then, there have been numerous red flags raised. So do people still trust Black Lives Matter? Today we're in Los Angeles. We're going to find out. Let's go talk to some people. Oh, before we get started, this video is sponsored by iTarget Pro. Let's go. What are your thoughts about the Black Lives Matter organization? I want your honest opinion.
I don't see anything wrong with the Black Lives Matter organization. Yeah. I think they do really good. They have a really good program going on.
Do you support the Black Lives Matter organization?
100%.
The actual national organization. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea, especially because, you know, I'm a Black person, minority in this world. And there's other people that are Black that don't like to speak up because of the problems, and there is people who are like that. So I think that's a very great reason to promote Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. It really brought unity to our nation, I think. And I think that this has been a necessary convo for years.
I couldn't give you a straight answer to that because I don't know where the money's going. I don't know if it's real. I don't know what's fake news. So,
money's a concern. You agree with her?
Yes, I do agree with that. I mean, I support the cause. I support the cause, but I mean, I would love to know where the money is going, yes.
Do you agree with them on that, or are you kind of neutral on this?
No, I agree.
So it's really interesting that you guys bring that up because that's what we're talking about today, actually. Okay. Black Lives Matter, the organization, has suspended fundraising. They stopped fundraising after states such as, you know, Washington or California threatened them with legal action for being out of compliance. They have $60 million of missing donation records, and they've been the Black Lives Matter organization.
They have $16 million of
60
of missing
donation records.
Wow, did not know that.
Do you, after hearing that, do you trust the Black Lives Matter organization?
Well, if they're getting sued for that amount of money, there has to be some type of truth to it. But I'm not too privy on to that, what's going on. So I wouldn't have a problem with trusting them.
The movement is beyond the money. The money isn't going to change the true problems. What's going to change the true problems is conversations like this, talking to people that you don't typically talk to the same way you talk to your best friend, seeing everybody like it is. We're all reflections of each other, right? So ultimately what they're doing with the money, I think that
$60 million, that's a substantial amount.
That's a substantial amount, no doubt.
All right, everyone, let's talk about today's sponsor. Violent crime is skyrocketing all over.
Now, what do you...
brother.
And it's like, I mean, come on, man. Are we... See, that's the thing, man, with a lot of us, man. We are just so goddamn... I don't know, man. What is wrong with us? Are we that gullible that we just don't give a shit about anything? All right? I mean, we don't care about anything.
You gotta understand, brother, it's not about the 60 million, brother. It's about us having conversations. Okay. Let the hoes run off with the money, bro. As long as we have the conversations, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Who needs, we don't need 60 million. I don't need 60 million. You need 60 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need to have these conversations, man.
That's an irrelevant amount of money. Why they buy mansions all over the world? It's totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. If any of you brothers,
unbelievable.
If any of you brothers want to come up, because I see some of my folks out in the chat, man. If you want to come up, man, shoot me an email. Y'all know what to do, man. It's propertothought@yahoo.com. It's propertothought, one word, no caps, @yahoo.com. Does this one go further in on it, Brother Free Zone? Does it go in some more?
There's two whole videos of this. But I did want to say something that I did notice that was interesting. Who is the only? It seemed like the only group of people who were at least hip to it were they sounded like immigrants. They didn't sound like they were from America.
The foreigners. Yeah, the foreigners.
You know what I'm saying?
They're kind of skeptical. Yeah, see, they're skeptical. You know, the foreigners are skeptical. But the Negroes in America, oh yeah, we love Black Lives Matter. We love them. They really bring unity to America. Man, get the hell out of here, man. I'm telling you, man, I can't believe we're so easily taken in, man, by something that's obviously a sham, a scam, a flim-flam. All right? A scam, a sham, and a flim-flam. But we love them, though, because all you got to do is say Black Lives Matter, and that kind of nullifies the conversation. When you say that, it nullifies the conversation, because if you speak out against them, it automatically looks like you are against Black people's lives mattering. All right? You look bad if you even say anything against these folks because of the name of their organization. It's just crazy. But we continue, man. Fair use, God damn it. Fair use. And check your emails. Check your emails if you requested the link. Check your emails. Fair use.
No, not really.
Hell no.
I think it's important to look into it.
Well, I hope everybody will join me. Take on bigtech.com.
Damn it. Donald Trump, get the
figure
hell
out
out of here.
where the money is going, because I think a lot of people were in support of the cause and hence why they donated. So the fact that the money has just like disappeared and it hasn't gone to the people that it's supposed to help, I think that should be brought into question and people should challenge that.
I agree. For sure. I agree. For sure. I've got no clue where the money's going, to be honest.
The BLM 10 chapters, BLM chapters across the U.S. have called for an open investigation into how the organization spends its money. Because, you know, they said they gave chapters money. Chapters are saying they didn't receive any money. So there's been a lot of red flags raising, and we're asking people, do you still trust the Black Lives Matter organization if you did at one point, or if you never did, why?
It's kind of a
loaded.
Yeah, I see. Well, I mean, like any other organization, if it was up to me, I'd be like, you know what? You got to prove your track record. You got to go out there and validate, you know, if you received it, where's the documentation, where's the tracking? That's with anybody, whether it's Black Lives Matter or any other organization. They should be held accountable. If they're asking for money and one company is saying they got it, another company is saying they didn't, somebody's got to prove something. Somebody's lying.
The 60 million, yeah, that's a substantial amount. But my hope is that they're doing whatever they need to be doing with the best regard for the community. You know, I don't know too much about what they're doing in the back office, but my hope is that
you're hoping it's good.
They're progressing us, yeah.
Do they keep good records though?
Not at all.
Well, you got to keep good records when you're getting all the money.
Do you trust the organization or no? What do you think?
To be fully honest with you, I don't know enough about it, but in terms of like Black people, I love them and fully support them.
So charity.
What? As in terms of Black people, I love them and support them. She loves y'all Black folks.
I ain't even mad at that. First off, Freedman, absolutely, the little one, giggity giggity. Second off, I don't blame her for holding that position, because once a white person says they don't support Black Lives Matter, it's you don't care about Black lives, and you don't want to.
Racist.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't even want to be going through all that shit. So yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, if you got somebody out there with a camera and a microphone,
I don't rock with the organization,
but I love Black people.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I love Black people.
I don't support the organization, but I love Black people. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I love Black folk. Okay, I just want you Negroes to know I love Black people. Okay, I just do. Even if I don't know any of y'all, I love y'all because I'm on camera. Fair use.
It's funny that the ones that believe the most, that appear to believe the most about Black Lives Matter, know nothing about the organization. They don't know anything that's going on. They don't know where the money's at. They don't care where the money's at. Nothing. They have no knowledge.
Yeah, isn't that something? The people who support it the most don't know shit about it. Not a damn thing. And it's mostly the brothers, right? Mostly, oh man, Black Lives Matter is great. Yeah, I support them. I support them full-fledgedly. Yeah. Like, man, do you actually know what they're about? Have you been on their site? Have you seen what they've been doing lately? Like, how could you even say that in good faith, man? How? And we've been joined by Brother Friedman's Journal. What's good with it, Brother Friedman?
Freebird.
Hey, what's up, Brother X? What's up, Brother Freezone?
Peace, man. What's good,
what's good, brother?
Everything, man. Just tripping off this. This is hilarious.
Yes,
right? Just hey, they stole 60 million. Well, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. I think we just gotta look at the movie.
Let's give them some more money. Let's give some more money.
Freaking simpleton. I mean, what is wrong with you, bruh? Like, the funny thing is, it's always been a hustle, right? It's like the hustle never stopped. You know what I mean? Because the big thing is Obama gonna stop the hustle, right? Because Jesse was mad. I mean, he's used to shaking down, Nabisco for some scholarship money after he starts a riot, right? He's going to put a dent in that. Now you got this new program he's not ready for, So, he just doesn't know how to monetize it, right? Doesn't know how to monetize it.
Right. And the worst thing about this is that Black men are the cannon fodder for this movement.
Oh yeah.
They're the expendable ones. Even though the movement doesn't say anything about them, doesn't speak boldly in their name, speaks boldly about everybody except for them, and they're gonna be the ones that get out of here. They're the ones. They're the cannon fodder for this movement.
Hey, and you know what, man? I knew this was fake for a long time, dude. Like in the early in the early 90s, I was taking a flight and this little old lady was telling me about her daughter who was in a protest. And it was like some national protest, right? That was in, let's say, North Carolina, right? Like the week before I got on the plane. And right as I was getting on the plane, there was some more unrest in like Seattle, right? So she tells me about her daughter was in North Carolina the week before and is heading to Seattle currently. I was like, what? Like, and this was in the 90s, bro. This is all, none of this is spontaneous. It's all paid for political actors. And yeah, it's crazy. So none of this is, it's all been fake, you know, and it's all been a hustle.
That's it.
So I know they dropped a lot of money supporting Democratic candidates over the last election cycle. What was the name of that organization? Something Blue. I forgot what it is.
Act Blue.
Act
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah, Act Blue was actually
they
the
sunk a lot of
company.
money.
So I know they probably take it right off the top because they use their site, right? So they probably took 5% right off the top. If they got 60 million, you know, Act Blue probably got at least 6, you know. So
yep. And we still got 60 mil unaccounted for.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is the 60 mil? Where is it? Anybody got these chicks' phone number? God damn it. No one's found their phone number yet. No one can put it in the chat so we can call them live in real time. Come on, man. Somebody got to have their number. Goddamn. One of you got their number.
Bro,
out
trust
there.
me. If I had one of them 3 chicks' numbers, I'd be paid, motherfucker. I'd be out of there. I'd be cammed up with the palm tree in the back in the Bahamas with the water. I'm all that.
And the thing is, they just got greedy. They got greedy and sloppy. Al would have been like, I would have retired. Like, I can ride this for the rest of. I just had to hand out some scholarships once a year, right? Pass out some turkeys, and I'm done. He could have sat on that 60 mil and just paid himself a salary, and that's what he would have done.
Yeah,
you know, you didn't have to do all this illegal BS. You could have just paid yourself $1 million a year. Yeah, it would have been gross, but I mean, you wouldn't have drawn attention like this, and it still be legal.
Yeah, bro, and that's why I say shout out to Al Sharpton, man, because he washed the money right. Because they did this all wrong.
All wrong. They did this Daggle style.
You know, fuck Al Sharpton, but I could at least respect the understanding that hey, the light might be on me. He was smart enough to know that.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: this is like the way they spent the money. This is why I support reparations. Honestly, I would love to see military age black men in this country with $50,000 cash in their pocket. I just would. People are pretending, oh, they give us the money, we can do something. It's all about the money. And man, that should be spent in 90 days.
90 days. And that's the thing, right? Like, they bought all these properties. I mean, how many fucking houses do you need? Like, how many houses do you need? These freaking chicks, man, got more houses than motherfuckers who in the NBA and the NFL and shit. Like, I mean, you need a house in the Bahamas, you need one in Georgia, one in California, you need a fucking mansion in Canada, you need all this shit.
That's how they messed up. They should have bought commercial property, and then they could have played it off. Right? They could have played it off if they bought I don't know, some mid-rise office building, maybe 10 stories. Would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But
you know, instead of buying buying mansions and saying they for work.
They try to Instagram.
You can't buy mansions talking about this for work.
About to shoot rap videos and
Motherfuckers got Olympic sized pools and all this kind of bullshit, tennis courts and all this kind of shit on it. Oh, this is strictly for work. We don't live in any of these houses. So where the fuck are you living in? Where are you living? You're not living in none of these houses at all. You're living somewhere else, right? You're living in some bullshit fucking apartment somewhere in some bullshit city somewhere. Come on, man. There's no way anybody in their right mind believes these people. I mean, there's no way you can fucking believe these people. I never believed these people from the beginning, though. You know, when they first came out, it was this Black Lives Matter shit. I always said, because see, they came out back in my radio days. And I would have people come into the radio station, and they talk this Black Lives Matter stuff, and I always would ask them. I would be like, well, how come we never see these people when black folks is killing black folks? And boy, they would be like, oh, well, it's all, you don't need to talk about what we do to each other, man. It's all about, the police, they supposed to protect us. You want to connect what we do to each other to this, man. It's a different thing. And I would be like, how is that? A black life is a black life, right? Oh, are you more dead if a white person kills you than you are if a black person kills you? Are you more dead? I mean, I never understood it, man. I was always lost with it because I always saw them showing up when someone non-black killed a black person. And meanwhile, those very same cities that they were marching and rallying people and getting people all worked up, those cities had a record murder rates of black folks, record murder rates of babies getting killed, record murder rates of gun violence, but you never saw these people show up. And that was perplexing to me, because if you're going to say Black Lives Matter, that means Black Lives Matter, right? No matter who's killing them. And the guests who would come into the booth, boy, they'd be livid with me. Oh, XY, you can't say that, man. How you going to compare what we do to each other to what the white man do? Because the person's still dead. That's how. I mean, what? Yeah. They're still a dead person. Oh, I guess you less dead. You're less dead if a black person kill you. You're less dead. You're only half dead, right? You're only half dead. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. Just totally fucking ridiculous. But we continue.
Watch. It's a popular charity website that basically grades charities. They give A through F. And for Black Lives Matter, they put a question mark because they're genuinely not even sure where they literally have looked into it and have come to the same conclusion you guys have. This it's not the CEO, but one of the higher ups at Charity Watch described it as basically like a ghost ship,
fair use,
packed with
Negroes,
cash,
fair use,
headed in no direction at all.
Any group of people, whoever they are, could potentially, not necessarily use the funds in the best way. I hope it's not the case with BLM. I hope that, the question mark is soon erased.
Do you still trust the Black Lives Matter organization?
Definitely. Because at least at the heart of what
really
doing,
white man, you really gonna get up here and say this shit? No way you gonna get up here and say this shit, white man. Come on. He
well, you gotta understand. You gotta understand, brother X and Freedom. I care about your lives. I care about your lives. I mean,
I like black people.
I mean,
I like black
60
people.
million. You can't put a price on black lives, sir. Like, I mean, 60 million. I mean,
just
anybody can get 60 million, but we can't get the black life back that we lost.
This is how progressives jockey for social status among other progressives.
So it would appear,
right? Who loves black people more? You don't love black people more than I do. I have a sign and a bumper sticker. And I made sure all the money I gave to homeless people, they were black. Now,
so Brother Friedman, are we beyond have we gone into another level of I have black friends?
Yes,
are we past that?
See, and look, this way you don't have to have any black friends. You can just say you're for Black Lives Matter, and it's amazing. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Like I went to where is it? I went to Austin. I had a long layover in Austin not too long ago, and I went in the city, and this, Austin's very Caucasian. So I went past a couple of places that had Black Lives Matter banners on their houses and stuff. I'm like, man, come on, dude. It's just just social jockeying. That's all you're doing.
Absolutely, all you're doing. Man. Absolutely. I was about 3 weeks ago, I went on a call, and I went there to work on a commercial generator, and it was an office building, right? and we went to do some repairs on a commercial generator that had caught a fire. And before you got to the office building, you actually had to go through like somewhat of a residential neighborhood. And I mean, it's a pretty affluent a neighborhood. I mean, these houses there, man, are like 6,000 and 7,000 square feet, so these people got, they got some change. And as I was riding down through there, I saw one house. It had this big ass Black Lives Matter sign in front of it, right? So, I didn't pay much attention. I noticed it because it was big, right? So we go there, we do the work in the generator, and we come back. And on the way out we pass the house. Now, when we were going in, the house was on our left. So coming out, it's on our right. And while we're riding, we're riding slow because it's a residential neighborhood. The people are standing in front of the house, and other vehicles and trucks are in front of us, and they're not doing anything. And I guess those were white people driving those vehicles. When we come by, I mean, they're waving, they're jumping up and down, and I'm looking, I'm like, what is all this for? Like, okay, fine. We see you got the Black Lives Matter banner in front of the crib. And it's like when we come by, it's like they get all animated, they're waving, and it's a kid out there, and he's like making like the hand gesture for you to honk the horn. And I'm like, oh shit. And the guy, and one of my guys that was in the truck with me, he was like, "You're not gonna blow the horn?" I said, "Hell fucking no. I'm not trying to play into this bullshit."
Bro, that is amazing.
I mean, it's just see, I live in Mecklenburg, and Mecklenburg is like, we have
that sounds very white.
And let me tell you something, it is very blue. It's blue. We have the county clerk, blue mayor of Laos, Democrat. It's very blue, man. It's like very, very liberal here. Anyone who knows anything about the Mecklenburg, the Charlotte Mecklenburg metro area, they know that it is just blue. It's nothing to see Black Lives Matter signs all over the place. Did you ride down through some of these neighborhoods? They got like pictures of George Floyd and shit on the front yard. I'm like, I'm black and I don't even have a goddamn picture of George Floyd on my front lawn.
Oh my God.
I mean, these white folks literally got a fucking mural, like they do those mural paintings, those abstract paintings of George Floyd. Some of these white people actually got those paintings on their fucking front lawn.
Oh, I don't doubt it, dude. Well, see, where are they from? These are all like northeastern transplants, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
They brought the urban
Pretty
liberal
much.
New York ethos with them.
Yeah, and what was crazy about when we was riding by, right? Because I wasn't really paying the people no mind. We trying to head in. It's been a long day. We worked on this fucking generator, and I fucked my hand up and all this kind of shit. So I'm trying to just come on back and call it a day. And these cars are going by. Then when we come by, people are waving, and the fucking kid is out there making the blow the horn gesture, like honk if you're black, that kind of shit. I'm like, this is insane. And my guy, he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna blow the horn, Xbox?" No, I'm not feeding into this bullshit, man. Fuck out of here. Funny. And I done fucked my hand up the boot. Shit, I'm trying to get the fuck home. Shit, I don't care that y'all like black folks. I already know y'all like black folks. Y'all got this big ass sign on the fucking on front of the crib.
Oh man, I'm sure Austin was the same way. I mean, it was like that when I lived there before Floyd, everything like 2012 to 2015. But people were bold there, man. They just came up and started talking to you about politics, like right in your face. I'm black. They find out I'm from California. And, they just want to start spouting a whole bunch of left-wing stuff. And I'm just like, bro, like, this is weird. Normal people don't do this. Y'all some weirdos. And then I started just flaming people. And, yeah, that was like everywhere was a barbershop. I could go get a slice of pizza, and then some dude is gonna start talking about, politics. I'm like, bro, like I just want pizza, but I mean, if you want to get into it, let's do it. It was like that everywhere. And
Right.
Come on, man.
yeah. And it was funny. I was out with my friends, and then some lady says something, and I inhaled. I was like about to say something. I was like, and then I looked at my friends here, like, come on, like, just let it go. I was like, fine.
I mean, come on, man. I think we well, not we. I think some people have carried this whole I love black folks a little too far. But it is, they spoke of white guilt in the articles, right? And I think that number one is politically correct for white people to act like they have this, this great inherent love for black people, black causes, blackness, and I think a lot of it is a fucking act. I think a lot of it is an act. It's more symbolism than it is substance. All right. I think that's one of the major problems. Okay, fine. You down with the cause for black folks and all this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of these people, man, they go the extra mile to be extra convincing of how much they like black people. Like, and to me, it's stupid because, see, you don't have to do this. I mean, you don't have to make all this extra effort to prove that you like black people, because if you have to do that much, that extra stuff, you're not just trying to convince us, man. You're trying to convince yourself too. That's what I
Right. Yeah. And like me personally, I'd rather you not care. But and
Yeah.
that's what the Achilles heel of black people is: white acceptance. Because if you notice, anytime that we start talking about solutions and stuff like that on panels and stuff, what's one of the biggest things that they say? We're not accepted. This country's not for us. We can do that, but what's to say that we'll be accepted? It's like, who gives a fuck if you'll be accepted or not? You're an American.
Yeah.
Do what the fuck you want to do. Raise 90 million so you can run off with 30. Like, this is America.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you could do
capitalist
you could do that.
society.
Who gives a fuck who? Yeah.
I mean, I think when it comes to this kind of stuff, man, it's just not only I think it kind of sets a bad precedent, right? Because if you make a person or force a person to say they like you, say they accept you, if they have to do all this extra stuff to prove this, aren't they kind of pandering to you? I mean, I just don't think pandering is legitimate. All right. I mean, it's one thing if you're sincere about a cause, about a people, about a goal, about a whatever. But once you're to the point where you're just pandering, I mean, pandering is kind of it's kind of a little disrespectful, because I mean, who respects somebody who kisses their ass? Like,
Mhm.
and some
It's
of these
completely
people
insulting.
yes. I mean, how can you respect someone who kisses your ass? Yeah, you might go ahead and, let them tag along and use them for whatever, but you're never going to respect these people because they kiss your butt. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And, as a black man, been a black man all my life, ever since I became a man, I mean, I don't take well to white folks who try to make that extra mile, because that's when you get these little Freudian slips from these white people where they're saying things like "you people," "your kind," that kind of shit. That's when that shit slip out, because they're trying too goddamn hard to convince you, everybody else, and themselves that, well, I don't have a problem with black people. I mean, it's just stupid to me, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. And I don't see it doing any good, man. I mean, I think motherfuckers have the right to not like black folks. You got a right not to like my ass. You have that right, just like I have a right not to like you. All right? I don't want to force you to like me. I don't want to force you to say good things about me.
Right.
It's stupid.
No,
It's just stupid,
I,
man.
I don't want to have to cater to anybody. Like,
Nope.
and when the BLM shit first popped off, I leaned into it to the point where they were like, I don't support Black Lives Matter. Oh, you don't think Black Lives Matter? Nope.
Nope.
Your life doesn't
Nope.
just matter just because you're black. No.
I
Absolutely not.
mean,
Oh, you a coon. You a coon. You sell out your own people. It's like, bro, if your life don't matter to you, why the fuck should it matter to me? That's my take
no,
on it.
I'm just getting tired of people acting like black people. See, this is the thing with us. I got a problem with this shit too. Then I'll continue to run this. I got a problem with some of us always crying about they want to be treated like everybody else. And then in the next 5 minutes, they want to be treated like this special interest group. I can't talk about this shit enough. You can't have it both ways. You can't say treat me differently when it's beneficial to me and then treat me the same when it's beneficial to me. You either want to be treated like everybody else or you want to be treated special. You can't have it both ways. You can't be treated the same and different at the same time. I mean, to me, that just makes absolutely no sense. None. And I will never go along with it. And I will.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother Lou. You got it.
No, what I was going to say is it's a system of it's a method of manipulation and control, because black people are the most uncomfortable with the fact that most of the country is white.
Mm-hmm.
The most uncomfortable with it. 40 million up to over I think it's like 40 to 45 million black people in this country, over 150 million whites in the country.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't dealt with those past demons, you're gonna feel a pressure.
Yeah. I mean,
But
at
you
some
could run
point,
it.
man. Yeah, at some point, man. I mean, as black people, man, we have to. A lot of us, man, we have to face the reality of things, man. You know, I mean, you change what you can change. All right, if you want to do some change, but some things are just going to be what they are, man. No matter what the fuck you do. That's just the truth. And also, newsflash, black people. I know I haven't said this to y'all in a while, but racism isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay. Just like the air we breathe, the grass and the trees and the pollen. It's not going anywhere, folks. Sorry. But anyway, fair use. Oh shit, look at me. I'm turning on the wrong shit.
Is not just meaningful but necessary. So if you want to, you can't continue any kind of movement free of charge.
Do you trust BLM?
I don't trust anything that I donate to anymore.
I never did trust them.
You never did. Why did you never trust them?
I just secondhand information of some things I heard that the actual organization is spouts things that I disagree with.
They found a way to profit off of that social issue, and they don't know where the money is going at all. I mean, I'm sure people who are behind it know where it's going, straight to their pockets.
So what we're talking about here is like basically lack of transparency with donation records, though. BLM 10, a group of 10 Black Lives Matter chapters, has called for an investigation into how the organization spends its money. You still say yes, correct?
Correct. I understand it's charity and so they got to get paid, but I just don't go with them anymore. I go directly to either our church or, like I said, we go right to my post. We bring them in, we feed them, We help them. They need money for rent. We'll give it to them because we know exactly where it's going.
The co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Patrice Cullors, she recently bought 4 homes for $3.2 million. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they all do it. Look at these politicians on $200,000 a year jobs. They're Pelosi's worth $250 million. Come on, man. I'm from Chicago. That's the worst, most corrupt city in the business, man. Everybody, they all take care of each other, man. That's how we do it.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Amazon took Black Lives Matter, the organization, off of their charity platform. Charity Watch gave them a question mark for their rating for the charity. And everyone's wondering where the money's going, but nobody's commenting on where the money's going. So
maybe you should look into that. I don't know, but that sounds crazy right there. If it's not going to the right people or like destinations, they should probably like look into that. Maybe get some people in charge, like you were saying, because that ain't right.
Amazon took them off of their charity platform. You have Charity Watch that gave them a grade, and instead of A through F, they just gave them a question mark. Right. There's $60 million in donation records that are missing right now. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard about
Yeah,
it.
a little bit. I haven't recently because I've been out of the country for a few months. Some other nefarious people got involved in it after it got going, and that's where it started going downhill.
Yeah.
If you get people do the research, they'll see that.
When you're quote unquote looking for transparency, there's too many areas in our government and our political system that are completely and utterly obfuscated. So you have absolutely no idea what's going on with them. I mean, Citizens United. Oh, well, that's fine. We'll just give them any number amount of money. It's okay though. It doesn't matter that we're buying our politicians, but clearly it's a huge thing to shut down Black Lives Matter for it.
If they were taking donations right now, would you give them your money if they were taking donations online?
Absolutely.
Let's say if they're still taking money today, would you donate to the Black Lives Matter organization?
After knowing that, no. If I knew that was the case, not until they can prove that they're doing the right things with the money. And not just Black Lives Matter, any organization.
For sure.
If there's anybody, especially if there's bad actors involved that are doing things wrong with said money, they need to be held accountable. But no, you don't just stop you don't stop the moon because of it.
I just think
He said,
"Wow,
even though they're stealing the money, you still give them some." And did they say that they're being investigated internally by 10 chapters? They're asking questions. Is that what I heard too? That some of the internal chapters are also investigating where the money's going. So they got their own people. Their own people are asking questions about the money. But this guy here says he doesn't care.
Well, yeah, because the other chapters care because they're saying that the main chapter is saying that they gave all this money out to them, and they're like, "Yo, you didn't give us anything," so they want to know where the money is. This guy, his logic is basically all these other organizations are being fucking off with the money, so this one is okay. Like if we can let all these other ones fuck off money, then I don't see any problem with BLM fucking off the money. Fuck it.
Yeah. Why not, huh?
And
why not?
Yeah. And then you have the other black guy who just can't possibly fathom that he can't fathom that an organization would be he can't fathom that an organization would be untrustworthy with money. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
You
what do you
mean
mean
to-
that's crazy?
you mean to-
it's actually
You
not.
mean to tell me that they're taking money and spending it on shit that they shouldn't be spending it on? Really? No way. No way. I mean,
Yeah, this is unprecedented.
and the guy is standing up there telling them that, hey man, she done bought like 4 houses with the money. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'll still donate to them. No problem. I don't care. Fuck it. Everybody does it.
I heard, I heard they need furniture, so they might as well. I heard they need a futon.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, how goddamn gullible can you be, man, at this point? Like, come on, man.
Really obfuscated. So you have absolutely no idea what's going on with them. I mean, Citizens United. Oh, well, that's fine. We'll just give them any number amount of money. It's okay though. It doesn't matter that we're buying our politicians, but clearly it's it's a huge thing to shut down Black Lives Matter for it.
If they were taking donations right now, would you give them your money if they were taking donations online?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Let's say if they're still taking money today, would you donate to the Black Lives Matter organization?
After knowing that, no. No, if I knew that was the case, not until they can prove that they're doing the right things with the money, and not just Black Lives Matter, any organization.
For sure.
If there's anybody, especially if there's bad actors involved that are doing things wrong with said money, they need to be held accountable. But no, you don't just stop you don't stop the moon because of it.
I just think that
Don't stop the moon.
people that support the Black
All
Lives
right.
Matter, they need to ask those questions. They should demand that from the organization.
Well, I think people also, the issue is that people don't, they want to help from afar, right? So if, you hear about the issues, you're like, yeah, I'd love to donate to this. Or, oh, starving kids in Africa, here's $1. You need to know what you're donating.
Hey,
need
can
to
you
do your
pause it real
research,
quick?
and you need to understand
You
who's
pause
behind
it
it,
real
so you can follow up on your money.
Can we
What's
give
up?
a shout out to this couple right here? The white man is doing most of the talking. He's not carrying anything. She's holding all the bag for the day's activity. This looks like a good
Mhm.
loving relationship, right?
Yeah, he
It seems they
thinks
got their
Black
head on
Lives
straight.
Matter. Yeah, he thinks Black Lives Matter. So he
You think
does.
her life matters? I ain't mad at him.
Oh yeah,
I ain't mad at him. She's
yeah.
pretty.
He got him a black chick. He's like, you motherfucking right. Black Lives Matter. And so does black ass. He said black ass matters to this white dude.
That's it.
Black ass
That's
matters.
it. And he's saying what he wants to say without any fear of anything. You know what I'm saying? And she's right by him to she's right by him to concur and co-sign what he's saying. I like it.
Yeah, and it's like you said before. It's weird that the women are the more skeptical, right? The brothers are, Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 even though they don't know shit about the organization. The women are a little more, they're not as, not easily moved by them, even if they have a degree of support for them. You don't sense that they like trust the organization like that. They just don't, And it's weird
Yeah,
being
well,
that it's an organization led by women.
But what's crazy about it is it's not that uncommon. Most of these movements that you see, for example, let's take the LGBTQ. A lot of people who are actually LGBTQ don't like the movement because they think that it portrays them in a negative light. You look at colleges, hell, even going back to the 80s, you look at colleges that have these special groups for special people. So for like a group on a college campus that's specifically for Latinas. Most of the Latinas on that campus have no interest in joining that group that speaks boldly in their name. This is actually a very common thing because the fact of the matter is most people want to be Americans and just want to be left alone to do their own thing. They don't need a movement.
Yeah. And these things a lot of them aren't really movements anyway, right? Because when you get down to it, it's not like they're out for all of the people who they consider their group. They're only out for the people who totally agree with them, right? I mean, even when you're talking about, say, like some Latino group or some Negro group, I mean, if you're out there saying you're for all people that are like me, you're for all people that are like you, but you don't think people are like you if they happen to have one or two disagreements. Those people are shunned, right? They're shunned.
Right.
So you only care about the people who are in total agreement with whatever schism or whatever narrative or whatever thing that you're pursuing, you're only for those people. And a lot of times the people who try to head up these quote unquote movements, that movement usually represents a very small percentage of the people they claim to represent.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's just like you say all the time, man. What they want, what's good for me, but not good for thee.
yeah, but what's not good for thee?
That's movements in a nutshell.
Pretty
So,
much, man.
and
All right.
most people have an understanding. Most people have an understanding that activism is just a way for useless people to feel important. Most people, man, you're not doing shit with your life, so I'm gonna be an activist.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
go out and
outside of
march
that,
and
what skill set do you
help
have?
help y'all flip over cars and kicking windows and shit. I'm not doing anything anyway, so I might as well hang out with y'all and burn half a city down. I got plenty of time. Well, let's
Right, and
continue.
that speaks to that speaks. Oh, I'm sorry, real quick. That speaks to the whole acceptance thing, because I think like that deep down, a lot of Black people really feel that they don't bring any value to the American marketplace. That's what it seems like. It seems like they don't see any value in themselves in the context of America as a whole, which is hella sad.
Yeah.
Freeman, shout out to you. You already know, bro. Nice skin on the chica. Yeah, man.
Funny, but people want to be so quick to say, "Oh my gosh, did you donate to this? Did you?" I did. So like, okay, you bought someone a new car is what you did.
Crazy because not many people are talking about it right now, and obviously it's an important topic.
It is, but if you don't know what you don't know, until I meet somebody like you that help us get informed.
I appreciate that.
Have a good day, man.
Thanks for talking to me. All right, everyone, that is it for today. So we got a lot of mixed responses, but keep in mind we are.
That's it.
Yeah, he said after that, he said that they were in a very liberal area. So I guess that's got a lot to do with it too, right? I mean, if you're in the more liberal, bluer, parts of the country, of course, you're probably going to hear a lot of people say they support it, no matter what color they are, right? Especially the white folks, they gotta say, "Oh, yeah, I love Black Lives Matter. I love Black people. What are you talking about?" So of course you're gonna get that response and shit. You'd get that same response if you walked around this fucking county, you get white people jumping up and down when they see Black people and shit.
Yeah, that's out there in Cali. So yeah,
yeah, that looked like Venice Beach, man. It's gonna be, you know what answers you're gonna get out there.
Yeah, but do you brothers think that? I mean, I don't think that this kind of stuff, for people to be this way, once again with the pandering shit, I don't think this helps Black people, man. I really don't. Maybe it does, somewhere, but me, I don't believe that this shit helps Black people. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, man. I'm not convinced.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help Black people any more than a Steve Harvey helps women by pandering to them. Like it doesn't. Pandering doesn't help. Period. You have to be realistic. You have to be objective, and it's not easy for a lot of people to. It's not easy for a lot of people to do, and it's not easy for a lot of Black people to accept. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they can't even accept the fact that nobody cares. Like nobody cares about your struggle. Nobody in this country, they care about the greenbacks. They care about the value. They care about the result. That's it.
I mean, and it's not like this particular organization, as we've seen tonight from all these articles and literature about them, that it's not like they're using the money that they have to help Black people either.
Yeah,
the money they're collecting isn't helping Black people, man. It's not. It's buying $1 million, $5 million, $6 million properties all over the fucking world is what it's doing.
It's cultural rent seeking. Freeze said it before. It's cultural rent seeking by people who are just generally useless, right?
Yeah,
they sidestep the competence hierarchy, and then they can, gives them something to do.
I mean, how else were these three bitches gonna get $90 million? How else?
Do you
Seriously,
see any?
how else were they gonna come up on three? Go ahead.
Do you brothers see something coming down the pipe, like I don't know, an IRS audit, maybe some fraud, or is that? Do you think that that's a thing, or have they successfully been able to stash some money on some offshore account some goddamn where, and the government will never find out about it? Like, what do you think is next now that they've made so much of this public, which they probably didn't have any choice but to do at this point?
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably get audited because they're useless now. Right? Once they get burned and they're useless, I mean, they're gone, man. Like Cindy Sheehan, just get out of here.
Yeah.
But see, they've left the trail though, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they will get audited, because they're no longer useful. So all it takes is, independently, some agent would be like, we'll get them. And then doesn't matter what they do. If the media doesn't talk about it, it hasn't really happened. You know what I mean? So you might get a little something, a little news article here and there, but it's nothing that's going to stay in the headlines like, they got y'all fools. It's not going to be anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. Man, they thought Candace Owens being in front of their house was scary. Nigga.
And Colors lied, man. She lied. She said that this girl was she lied, man. I saw some of the clips, man. The girl never even got a chance to get around her, man. She got stopped by some damn security guy. Like, she gets on and boo-hoos and talks about how, she was scared for her family and all this kind of crap. You scared of some little ass girl with a pregnant belly and a couple white men with a damn camera? Get on out of here. Y'all never met a camera y'all didn't like. Come on, man. Stop it.
She ain't scared of that. She's scared of going back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, back at her job that, she made so much money at doing that she was able to buy properties all over the place. Like, come on, man. I mean, it's just bullshit, man. It's just...
Yeah, all while trying to destroy the community. Because again, remember, she wanted to get police. She wanted to get cops, police, surveillance, jails. She wants all of this stuff abolished, which helps nobody but criminals.
And
I think I read in the thing
she also wants the nuclear family abolished.
Exactly. I think I read a thing where like her brother got arrested. Let me see if her brother got arrested for robbing her mom's car, his mom's car, and then he was diagnosed with like bipolar schizophrenia, got locked up, and apparently he got choked and beaten and forced to drink toilet water. And this particular event, and Patrice Cullors said that this particular event is one of the reasons that it's one of the fuels for her activism, and that's why she wants cops gone, she wants jails gone, she wants all this stuff abolished. I just don't see how this helps black people.
Because he drank toilet water.
Well, her idea. Well, her thing was that her brother was being brutally abused in jail. So her thought process is, if they don't have the jails, there's not something for her brother to get abused in.
Oh yeah.
They don't have police. They don't. Yeah,
that's the only
bro.
place you
If they
can
don't have
find
police,
toilet. It's the only place you can find toilet waters in jail.
It's all horseshit, man. It's all horseshit. But
This shit is comical and stupid, man.
well, realistically speaking, the only way that you can get this stuff off is an act of through the mode of sincerity. When you're sincere about Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter if any all the other shit doesn't make sense. This, this is how they scheme. I did a Twitter watch the other night where this 64-year-old woman was talking to young folks about reparations. She was like, "Yeah, y'all need to crowdfund." And everybody's like, "Crowdfund? Like GoFundMe? Like get a pot going?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll run the pot." You know what I'm saying? Like, just and that's how I came across. Like, man, just look, y'all, just get the money to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it flip, make it do what it do, and I'm gonna get it back to you. Like that's how her whole hustle was. Because when they started asking actual questions, like, okay, we put the money in this pot. All right, what do we do with it? Well, man, come on, man. That's where y'all come in with the skill set. Somebody doesn't know what to do with it. It's like, lady,
give me 50, get 100 back.
Are you serious right now, lady? Are you serious? But they all have this, like, they all have that whole black woman is God thing. So they didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to press her like that. And it took one person that actually pressed her. And he pressed her, like indirectly. He didn't specifically say her, but you know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is the scam, man. This is the scheme. This is the race hustle.
I'm just so disappointed in black people, man, for this kind of shit, man. Because see, a lot of times, man, we enable this bullshit, man. We have to admit it, man. I mean, we assist a lot of times, man, with being taken for a ride because we so goddamn vulnerable, man, and gullible to this nonsense, man. We give them the freaking assists, man, so they can get the easy layup a lot of times, man. We do. You know, they know they can get the easy layup because we right there giving them the assist, man, under the bucket. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we got to stop doing this shit.
Black people are consumers of racism. If you give them racism, they will consume it. And it doesn't matter what else you do. It's all, doesn't matter.
I mean, come on, man. We gotta stop doing this shit, man. A lot of times, man, we get taken for a goddamn ride, and the whole time we being taken for a ride, we know we're being taken for a ride. And you know what we do when the ride's over? Ask for another ride. Give us another ride. Oh, man. Come on, man. We gotta stop this shit, man. We gotta stop this shit, man. But
I can't have any. Bro, the best thing to do is what's best for you. Like if you choose to get played, it's on you. You got you played. You didn't do your due diligence. You didn't look to see what these women were about. You had no idea that they were trying to remove you had no idea they were trying to remove the nuclear family. You had no idea that the only thing that they cared about was women, parents, and children. Has nothing to do with men, but you're blindly supporting these people. You deserve to get what you get.
Yeah.
And
they did a lot of that shit off the backs of dead black men, man. I mean, because they even said it, man, when George Floyd was killed out there, man, that's when the money really started to run in now. I mean, millions and millions and millions, you got all these companies, because these companies, they want to be PC, they want everybody to think they love black folk too. So of course they fill their coffers right up. Hey, we love black folks too. Look, y'all, we gave them $1 million. We love black folk. I mean, but you can't stop this stuff, man. You can't stop it because see, we got this whole, it's this whole woke kind of, it's like this woke kind of culture that's going on now, right? Who's the most woke? Like Brother Friedman said earlier, who loves black people the most? Right? Everybody's in a race to see who's the most woke, who's willing to do the most for black folk, who has the greatest understanding of the black folks' causes, etc., etc. That's where we are now, man. Unfortunately.
Yep.
And,
I mean,
and I just don't think it helps
shame,
black
bro.
people, man.
Bro,
I just don't
it's
think it
it's
helps
a
black
fucking
people.
shame, man. How many more people are gonna die because of this group? How many more people?
Yeah.
How many more businesses are gonna be shut down in black communities because of this group? All this fucking looting and burning down businesses and shit like that, except for the bookstores. How are they going
Oh
to
yeah.
continue
Library.
to like? At what point does this fucking stop?
Yeah, well, it's bled over, right? Because I mean, I've seen some protests, man, and I don't barely saw one brown or black person out there, and all these white folks was walking chanting Black Lives Matter. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, let me put my glasses on because I don't see no black folks out there. There's a bunch of white folks.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of white folks marching with these damn signs and shirts on, man. Like, come on, man.
As a matter of fact, the guy we were just watching, the white guy, James Klug, he actually went to one of those BLM protests that had all white people, and he just wanted to
Yeah.
ask some questions, and they didn't want to talk to him at all. He's an outsider. So you know what I'm saying? When you don't want to have a conversation, then you already know what it is.
What kind of questions was he trying to ask him? Like, why is it only white people out here? Where are the black
questions
people?
like, why are you? So what are y'all doing out here? What brings y'all out here today?
Right. Yeah.
And they just didn't want to answer.
Yeah, they just ask them normal questions, but they end up looking like idiots. So they're kind of hip to the game. They're like, don't talk to him. He's going to show people how stupid we are.
I'm just waiting to see some white person say, oh, he's an agent. Oh, man, when I see that, boy, when they done picked up the lingo, oh, he's an agent. Don't talk to him. He's an agent. I'm telling you, black folks, some of this shit is bullshit, man. It's totally ridiculous. And some of this stuff is totally ridiculous. Black Lives Matter is totally fucking ridiculous. They raise a ridiculous amount of money. And guess what? It's some of your money that bought those fucking mansions, folk. All right?
Yeah.
You bought
Yeah,
these
bro.
fucking
Hey,
people mansions and shit.
Bro,
I mean,
we're talking about nearly 1,000 people have died in from in between George Floyd and Derek Chauvin. Almost 1,000 people.
you mean from the protests and all that kind of shit, the looting and the shooting and the killing and the burning and all that kind of bullshit.
That's it.
And see, this is the thing, right?
People. So I'm real quick. My question becomes when they come to that door, is BLM, is Patrice Cullors, is the other two chicks, are they going to be held accountable or responsible for those deaths?
No, of course not.
Nope. And see, this is the thing.
And there you go.
This is the thing. When something like this happens, right? A cop kills some kid or kills somebody somewhere inside, one of these hoods or, one of these ghettos or wherever uptown. They organize all these people with this Black Lives Matter stuff. And what ends up happening? They don't even go and march or burn buildings or set fire to cars. They don't go over to where the so-called perpetrator is. They burn down their own shit. They burn down the drugstore where your mom get her diabetes medicine from. You burn down the fucking bodega where your grandmama go and get her damn peppers from. You burn down the fucking stores and shit that support, your minuscule existence. That's what I don't understand. I was talking to my wife about it today. I had my wife cracking up. I said that's the equivalent of if the neighbor's dog comes and takes a dump on our lawn, I burn down our house, not theirs. I burned down our house because his dog took a shit on our lawn. And my wife was like, "You're insane." I said, "But isn't that the equivalent though? Like if the neighbor's dog comes on my grass, he takes a dump on my lawn, I get mad and I set fire to our house, not his. I don't go over there and shoot his dog. I shoot my dog and burn down my house. Like, come on, man. No way we can think that makes sense. But that's what we do constantly. We burn down our own shit when these things happen. We destroy our own neighborhoods, and when the smoke clears and everybody done went home, even the people who don't even live in that neighborhood, what's left? A bunch of burnt down, boarded up buildings and burnt cars that need to be dragged away and shit. What's left, and what has been solved after that? What has been solved after we've done all of that? Nothing. Nothing. Except a few people done died.
Yeah, well, they weren't trying to solve anything. They was trying to get rich and sell racism. From that standpoint, it was a roaring success.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And shout out to brother Maurice and brother Friedman's Journal for the Cash App. I appreciate that, brothers. Appreciate that, brothers. I mean, we gotta stop this shit, man. I mean, we have to stop this shit. We have to stop pretending like this isn't happening. We gotta stop being gullible to these dumbass fucking organizations that ain't gonna do shit for you. I mean, we have to stop doing this, man. Life isn't a fucking hashtag, man. All right, we gotta stop living vicariously through fucking hashtags, people. We have to stop doing it, man. We have to. And yes, I'm a person who do believe that Black life matters. But I think that's more than a fucking hashtag. And I think the lines get blurred, okay? Because when these people talking about Black Lives Matter, they ain't talking about your life. They talking about their fucking life. Their Black Lives Matter. That's why they on their private planes and living in their mansions, y'all. I can't say that shit enough. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, especially theirs. They're rich fucking Black lives at that, while your ass still struggling in the fucking hood and in the ghetto, all right? And your damn brother or your father or your son or your nephew or your somebody laying in the street with a bullet in their fucking head, they're using that to continue to be rich, to become millionaires. You have to understand this, folk. You have to understand this. They used it to become millionaires. And I bet you if you go to their site right fucking now, there's nothing talking about the Black men who were fucking killed. Nothing. I'm telling you. And I've always thought this, man. This ain't new. I've always said this about them. So, I mean, now people are starting to believe it now that, the white man done started talking about it. So I guess now we'll finally start to believe it. So there it is, man. But yeah, man, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this shit up. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Nah, man. I mean, we just got to be smarter, man. My take on it is to fully embrace the American way. Stop with all this Black shit because it doesn't get you nowhere.
Nope.
I get the having pride. I don't. I understand
He
it.
said, actually,
but
I don't.
I understand it, but the reality of it is that if you're not a person that brings value to the marketplace and brings value to people around you, none of this shit matters, man. It does not matter. And so it's incumbent upon people to do what they got to do to increase their skill set in whatever domain they're in, whether it's tech, whether it's uh, making food, whether it's owning a restaurant, whether it's whatever it is. Bring value, and things will change for you. No movement will do that for you. These activists, all these folks, even Karl Marx himself, who these women, um, who these women basically get their shit from, Karl Marx, um, and Mao and Lenin, and they get them from those folks. But Karl Marx was just a snobby upper middle class guy who didn't have to work. So fuck what he says. Who gives a fuck what he thinks? Make yourself as valuable as you can to the marketplace. Stop relying on movements. Stop with this activism shit. Make yourself useful. Stop being useless. And I'll land the plane there.
Yeah. Brother Friedman, any parting shots, man? Final thoughts?
Nah, man. I think Free Zone said it all. I think the way forward is to just do your own thing. So, yeah, that's it. I'm about to get out of here too. Oh, it's almost midnight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm out of here. Appreciate you having me up, Brother X. This was a great stream. Great topic.
Absolutely.
I hope these bitches get what they deserve.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, man, it's some type of audit or something has to be coming down the pipe. I mean, because some of that money's still missing. So it remains to be seen.
Mil.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna come up, man. It's gonna come up.
When it come up, we'll have another one. We'll do another one of these days.
That's it.
I appreciate you, brother.
I'll be here. Appreciate you, brother. Take it easy, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, folk. We're gonna go ahead, man, and wrap it up, man. Good stuff tonight, man. This Black Lives Matter shit, man. It's just, at this point, man, there's no way we can continue to be fooled. Hold on a second, y'all. My bad, y'all. My wife was asking me something. Yeah, man, at this point, man, we have to be smarter than this, man. We have to be smarter than, letting these damn movements, man, dictate our emotions and dictate, how we react to things, man, and leading us blindly by the damn nose while they become fucking millionaires and billionaires and shit. When they obviously showed us that they didn't give a shit, man. Like I said, man, when they first started out, man, I went to their website, man, and it blew my mind that, they stood on the bodies of these young men. They stood on the bodies of people like Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Kamani Gray. Michael Brown. They stood on the bodies of these dudes, man, and made millions. But you go to their site, barely a mention of black men, barely a mention of the deaths of black men. It was every goddamn thing else on that site, man, during that time. Everything else except the mention of black men. The thing that gave rise to this quote unquote movement. It blew my mind back then. I was like, wow, this is what brought about their whole quote unquote BLM thing, but barely a fucking mention of black men. I just found it really, really strange, man. I did. And I knew this is how this would end up. Because I don't really believe they really moved the needle. I think that they might have brought some awareness to the plight. They might have brought some awareness to police brutality. But I don't think they did much to change anything. I don't believe they did. I don't believe they did. They didn't get any laws passed. No legislation. No anything. Just a lot of marches. A lot of marches. A lot of yelling. A lot of screaming. I'm just now seeing this shit. Freaking Brother Freeman showed me this picture. I want y'all to see this. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm just now seeing this, man. I wasn't looking at the chat. I had this shit on the other shit. Brother Freeman's journal put this shit in here. Check this out, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. 90 million. Oh shit. But like I said, man, I never bought it, man. In the beginning, when I first heard it, because when I first heard of them, I was actually in radio. I was still working for the radio station. And like I was saying earlier, I would have, all kinds of people would come into the radio station, man. All types of local community activists, man, from the local area. I had all kinds of people that would come there, people from the NAACP, the church people, bishops and pastors, and, the locals. Because during that time, I ran into these people because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jonathan Farrell. Jonathan Farrell was killed by the police down here. I think that was in 2012 or 2013. And I was actually at a rally. Me and my folks were at a rally. And we were taping a rally. And while we were there, we were interviewing people. Right? We were interviewing people because during that time, we were the T.P.O.T media group. I tell y'all about this all the time. Back then, it was like a whole bunch of us, it's like 8, 9 of us, and, we were at the rally. We were at the Jonathan Farrell rally, and they were holding the rally at a church. And we were there at the church, and we were interviewing people, there. We were interviewing ministers and, all types of people from Black women organizations and all that kind of stuff. So I came into contact with a lot of those people. And I also came in contact with people who were representing Black Lives Matter back then. Now, the people that I ran into, they were actually, they were there protesting the whole Jonathan Farrell thing. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to put some of those interviews up, man. I got to go on my archives. I want y'all to see some of this stuff. They were talking good stuff, all right, when I ran into them. And a lot of them I had come in. I interviewed them on the radio station and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it just seemed different. And I was interested. All right. I was actually interested because, like I said, I invited a few of them to come, to my radio show, and I interviewed a couple of these people. And from what I was hearing, I thought it was a good thing until I start looking into it myself, until I start looking at their website, until I start seeing that they were only showing up at places where white people had killed Black folks. They weren't showing up at the places where 2- and 3-year-old children were being murdered. They weren't showing up where people had gotten killed, kids had gotten killed in parks and in schoolyards and playgrounds. They weren't showing up at these places. So I was like, wait a minute. They keep saying, they're saying that Black Lives Matter, but it only matters if a white person kills someone. That alone shook me right. That shook me right off of them from that moment on, even though I had talked to all these people and I had been to these rallies, right? Because I went to a few rallies. All right. I went to a few goddamn rallies when I was doing radio, man. I was at the Kamani Gray rally when Kamani Gray got killed by NYPD. I was at the Eric Garner rally. I was at the Jonathan Farrell rally. I went to one Trayvon Martin rally. I mean, I went to quite a few rallies, man. I went to quite a few rallies during that time. All right. And, while I was there, we'd have our camera equipment and, everybody would be there. They'd be mic'd up and we'd be interviewing people. We'd be interviewing the people who were holding the rally. We'd be interviewing the families. We'd be talking to people's mothers and cousins and brothers and people who got killed. Yeah, man. Yeah. We used to do a lot of that shit, man. If you go back in the T.P.O.T archives, man, you go way, way back. Like when we first started, that's pretty much all we did in the beginning was talk about police killings. We would talk about the killings in Chicago. I mean, that's like all we did. It's all we did. So this kind of stuff isn't new for T.P.O.T, man. We've been around it ever since the beginning, ever since we were doing like radio and shit. It's just that, T.P.O.T has grown into something else now, but this kind of stuff used to be our shtick, man. Used to be our shtick. Told you, I got plenty of footage of us at rallies and people speaking, Black Lives Matter rallies in the middle of parks in New York City, upstate New York, everywhere, down here in North Carolina, everywhere. You go way back in our stuff, you'll see a lot of it. Now, mind you, back then, in the beginning, I actually thought they were somewhat legitimate because of what I had heard from interviewing some of their, some of the people who were down with the organization. I thought it was legitimate until I started to notice that they only showed up when a white person killed a black person. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. And see, that was also around the same time I started looking at the website. I was like, nah, this ain't it. Because see, we had a website for the radio station, and the radio station actually, they had this Black Lives Matter thing, and I had to show the people who ran the radio station, the brother who ran the radio station. I was like, have you seen the site yet, man? Like, I just don't think we should be, I don't think we should be broadcasting these people. I just don't think we should have their logo on our shit because of, what they represent. And the brother who ran the radio station, once he started looking at their site and seeing how they were, he agreed. And we took that shit off of the radio station's website after that. Because, yeah, we had their logo on the website and on the radio station website and everything. Because I thought they were legitimate at the time. But it didn't take long for me to figure out, man, that this was just a fucking ploy and a fucking agenda. And they were doing it on the dead bodies of black men, on the graves of black men. And they were exploiting the families of said dead black men. That's just what it appeared to be to me. So after that, I was done with it, man. So I'm not surprised that they done became millionaires and haven't given anybody too much of anything. They're lining their pockets. They're lining the pockets of their families and friends and all this kind of bullshit. I think that's what it was all along. Now, of course, she claims, oh man, we didn't know what to do with all this money when it was coming in. Oh, yes, you did. You went out and spent it. Didn't have any problem spending it. So I don't buy none of that shit either. And guess what? Neither should you, good folk. Now, I'm not one to tell you who to support, man. I'm not. If you wish to continue to support these people, go ahead. But I tell you what, I won't. And you won't catch me nowhere chanting this shit. I just won't. And I do believe that black people's lives matter. I just don't believe that they believe it. I'm not convinced that they believe it. But that's all. So we're going to go ahead, man, and wrap it up, man. Good shit tonight, man. But before we get out of here, I got to hit y'all in the head with T.P.O.T's programming notes. Yeah, it's time for programming notes, man. Because we got one more show lined up for this week. And y'all know what that show is, don't you? Y'all know what it is, right? It's none other than one of your favorites, The Ridiculous Race Game. And this week, man, on The Ridiculous Race Game, we're going to be talking about religion. Is religion racist? Is religion rooted in racism? Does religion justify racism? Because one thing y'all probably don't realize, man, one of the most segregated days of the week is Sunday. Check it out. Google it. One of the most segregated days of the week is Sunday. And it's weird, right? Because you would think all these Christian folk, all these Christian principles, and other religions too, that we wouldn't be this segregated, right? All these holy people, all these holy folk. But that's the most segregated day of the week. Like I said, Google it. So we're going to talk about it, man, on The Ridiculous Race Game this Saturday. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Because y'all know on The Ridiculous Race Game, what do? We talk about bigotry, prejudice, discrimination, and we have a few laughs, man, at racism's expense. So make sure you're here, man, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. And notice, you see the thumbnail, right? So y'all don't know who's going to be there this week. Usually I have, their faces up here on the screen. Notice, not this time. So if you want to know who's going to be there, your ass going to have to show up. Yeah, you're going to have to show up. Even if you just show up and leave, because I think all you need is 15 seconds for it to be considered a view, right? So you're going to have to show up, give the Ridiculous Race Game a view to see who's going to be there. Because that's the only way you're going to find out. Yeah. So make sure you're there. And another thing, man, while I got y'all here, these people here that you see behind me, these people were gunned down, man. And the majority of them, older people. Older people. Their lives mattered. Their lives mattered, man. Innocent people. And from what I understand, a lot of these people were good people, man. These are people who ran food pantries and fed homeless folk and gave people rides and looked out for folks, and those kind of people, man, gunned down by some deranged white fool. I would think that Black Lives Matter would be there, right? Don't they always show up when a white person kills a black person or kill black people? Don't they always show up? They've been relatively silent about this. Maybe these folks' lives didn't matter to them. Because, you know, they prefer to hoop and holler and shout when it's a young black man shot by the police, right? I keep forgetting they're about police killings. Because, you know, they moved it up a notch, right? Because when Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman, that's what kind of set BLM loose, right? Even though Zimmerman wasn't a police officer. He wanted to be one, so I guess that was close enough. And from then on, it was all about police killing black men. So I guess that's the only time lives matter. When the bullets come from policemen's guns. Because you've had black people killed by white people that weren't the police. Something tells me that they didn't care about those either. In their mind, you're nobody until the police kill you. But I beg to differ. I got a problem when people kill anybody. I have a problem with these people being dead. Because they shouldn't be. They were innocent people. They weren't doing anything. They were shopping. Is BLM going to march? Is BLM going to do anything for their families? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Are they going to show up? Will they walk down the street and chant these people's names? Like so many names they've chanted? Will we know these folks' names by way of BLM? I don't think we will. I just don't think we will. Because the only way BLM will focus on this is if that person who killed them had a badge. Because, see, when you get shot by the cops, you're more dead when you get shot by someone who's not a cop. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? So you have to be killed by the police for them to think your lives matter. And I say again, I disagree. These folks did matter. They did matter. Even if Colors and Tometi and Garza don't think so. T.P.O.T. thinks so. But that's all. We're going to go ahead, man, and get out of here, man. Once again, man, I appreciate y'all, man, as always, man. You know, I appreciate the cash apps and everything, man, but more importantly, man, I appreciate your participation more than anything else. You could have spent your Thursday night anywhere, man. You decided to spend it here. It is appreciated, man. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. All right. All right. So with that, and shout out to brother Free Zone Lou, man, and Freedman's Journal. And happy birthday, man, to my brother A Truism. He was supposed to be here tonight, but he's out celebrating his birthday. I'm pretty sure he'll be around the next time we throw down on something. So enjoy your birthday, brother. Yeah, man, and I appreciate you good folks, man. As always, man, I will see y'all Saturday night for the Ridiculous Race game. And like I said, man, if you want to be a part of it, just hit me up on my email, man, and I will put you on the docket. All right? All right. So, with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words, you know, like I always do. Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. The protester. Dark Exodus. Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X. Dark Exodus. You understand? Yeah, X. You understand? You understand? Open your mind.
Dark X.
Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand? Yeah, X. Open your mind.
Dark exodus. Dark exodus.